So, I watched the final episode of Just Like That Season 2 and there is so much to unpack, so let's not waste any time and get straight into the recap. In the past, there has typically been a significant time gap between episodes, often spanning around a month or more. However, this episode starts right where the previous one left off. Suppose you haven't seen the penultimate episode or a recap of it. In that case, you might struggle to keep up, as the majority of plot lines are the direct continuation of previous events. FYI. So, Carrie finishes talking with Aidan, who is in Virginia due to his son's accident. Carrie is about to get ready for her big dinner, but her phone starts ringing. Maybe she thinks it's Aidan once more with some updates, but to her surprise and our delight, it's not Aidan on the line, it's Samantha effing Jones calling. The icon, the legend, the trisexual queen is back for roughly 70 seconds though, but I'm not complaining. I didn't realize how much I missed Samantha's character until I saw her on screen after so many years. And first of all, she looked so fierce. The styling was pure perfection. One of Kim Cattrall's cameo requirements was to bring Patricia Field as her stylist, and even though Pat no longer works for the franchise, she still managed to capture the essence of Samantha perfectly, but in a more sophisticated and elevated way. I've said it before and I'll say it again, in Patricia Field we trust. So Samantha rides in an Uber and contacts Carrie to inform her she won't be able to attend the Last Supper. Ironically, Samantha's presence was meant to be a surprise and she knew about Carrie's dinner from Miranda and Charlotte. I'm so relieved that Samantha is still in contact with the ladies. I think what made us so furious last season was the notion that just because Carrie and Samantha had a falling out, Samantha was ghosting the rest of the girls too, which is so immature and just doesn't align with Samantha's character at all. She would never do that.
Wait, have you spoken to her?
No, neither has Charlotte. I mean, we texted and called, but we never heard back.
And then we get probably the best callback to the original show thus far. Carrie slightly teases Samantha and asks her if her time in London has influenced a hint of British accent in her speech, to which Samantha amusingly replies that her name isn't Samantha, but Annabelle Bronstein.
And please, call me Annabelle.
Literally iconic. Ultimately, the scene didn't bring anything to the plot, but it was so fun to see Samantha again. Then we cut to Charlotte, who's possibly still drunk after the party with her co-workers the night before. Harry wakes her up as Anthony came to see her and he needs bottoming advice. We all know it is highly unlikely that Anthony would actually seek help from Charlotte, but I think it was just the writer's attempt to recall the taxi scene from the first season of SITC.
The question is, if he goes up your butt, will he respect you more or respect you less? That's the issue.
Then Harry has a minor emotional outburst. He says he's tired of caring for the household and the kids while Charlotte is at work, to which Charlotte has a great response and says, well, honey, you feel like you're doing it all, but actually you're doing a bare minimum of what I, Charlotte, and many women are just expected to do. It's a very empowering moment for Charlotte. I think what makes it even more powerful is that she's not yelling, she's very calm. Probably a bit sedated. But yeah, her character arc has been slow, but one of the best in this season, I find. I was slightly disappointed though when Charlotte said that she wanted Harry to help her with some of that housework. Like, once again, these and Just Like That husbands do not share the responsibility of raising their kids. They're just asked to help occasionally. And frankly, I don't like that. Next, we are in Coney Island. It's a beautiful sunny day and Miranda surprises Steve. It is very weird that she had no idea Steve was opening a new bar/restaurant. Considering the extensive paperwork, financial investment, and time required, one would assume she would have learned about it through Brady perhaps. Nevertheless, Miranda finally visits the place, and honestly, it was such a heartwarming scene between those two characters. I love that Steve acknowledged that, yeah, he has been having rough a couple of years, but it's all in the past, he's doing well, and Miranda refrained from belittling his experience and feelings. Instead, she just let him speak, and afterward, she suggested they could stay friends. After all, they have a son together. When Steve said we didn't kill him yet, I couldn't help but smile. He alluded to their early days as young parents from so many years ago.
We're both afraid we're going to kill the baby. That's a given. Monday to Friday, I try not to kill him. Saturday and Sunday, you try not to kill him.
Before we move on to the main event, let's talk about Naya, LTW, Anthony, and Seema, starting with Naya. So she has been elected to the prestigious American Law Institute, and it sounds like a big thing, so congratulations. However, her success is greatly diminished because Naya has no man to share her life with. When she said that, I literally screamed. On the whole, I did find this episode quite enjoyable, but Naya's storyline really got to me. We all remember that the original show ended with each character in a relationship, and throughout season 6, there was this reoccurring theme that life without love is sad and meaningless. So with Naya's character, there really was an excellent opportunity for the franchise to finally change this narrative and show a successful woman without a romantic partner. It really isn't that much to ask. But alas, Naya goes with Miranda to Carrie's dinner and bumps into Toussaint, with whom she flirted at the beginning of the season. They both remember each other. Naya quickly clears out she's no longer married. The spark is flying between them. So yeah, technically, Naya ends season 2 of Just Like That as a single gal, but we all know where this is going. Disappointing. Equally disappointing was the resolution of LTW's plotline. As we remember, she accidentally got pregnant and unfortunately quickly miscarried. So now we find her tormented by guilt. Lisa thinks that since she didn't want the baby, she somehow contributed to her own miscarriage. And by the end of this episode, she lets go of that guilt. Unfortunately, her character got only 3 small scenes in this episode, and one of them was sharing the news with Charlotte. But as soon as Charlotte started to react to the devastating news, LTW abruptly halted the conversation, indicating it wasn't the right place for such a discussion. But I really wanted more. I yearned for a poignant moment between these two women where Charlotte, could have offered solace and said, I understand your pain. So hopefully we'll see that in season 3. Oh yes, in case you haven't heard, and Just Like That was renewed for the 3rd season. That's amazing news. I can't wait. In Anthony's case, he goes through a significant emotional development in this episode. Firstly, we learned that Anthony's boyfriend, Giuseppe, is considering moving back to Rome as he struggles with the New York City publishing scene. That would be a shame though, as Giuseppe is by far one of my favorite side characters. I just love his ironic sense of humor. So Anthony mistakenly believes that this desire to leave stems from their bedroom problems, but it turns out it's because Giuseppe feels he can't break through Anthony's emotional walls. This finally leads Anthony to open up. He admits that, he has commitment issues, he used to be in love only once before, and only hardcore SATC fans will remember that the guy who broke Anthony's heart was named Paolo. Because, hot take I guess, I don't think he was speaking about Stanford. Sorry, Stani. While Anthony struggles with commitment, Seema deals with her lack of trust in a relationship. Previously, she told Ravi she loved him, he said it back, but according to Seema, it changed everything and now he's always on the phone and pulling away. Over the course of the season, Seema has constantly been Carrie's most supportive friend. Sometimes her being Carrie's life coach was literally the only role her character was given, but this time around, their roles have reversed. Carrie candidly tells Seema she might be just scared, and that's okay, but she has nothing to worry about as Ravi is clearly obsessed with her. Later, it turns out Ravi has problems with the production of his film, as he's a film director, in case you forgot, and that's why he's constantly on the phone, and it has nothing to do with his relationship with Seema. However, he has to leave New York for 5 months. This prompts Seema to finally acknowledge her deep fear of losing both Ravi and their love. And I get it, like I've been in a similar situation and it is scary. Although Seema isn't really the type of a woman who would just sit in her house, cry, and patiently wait for her man to return. So she takes Carrie on a holiday trip to Greece. It's a much better choice than the Hamptons, if you ask me. Now let's move on to Carrie's dinner party. So she invited 13 of her apparently closest friends. One of them is Smoke, Jackie's wife, who almost made Carrie's Met Gala gown, but Steve wasn't invited? Where is the logic? Anyway, Carrie suggests a party game, I guess. Since she's letting go of her apartment, she asks each person to share one thing they wish to let go of using a single word. From the plot point of view, this is a lovely way to wrap up everyone's storyline. Lisa wants to let go of her guilt, Giuseppe Rom, meaning he won't be returning to Italy after all, and Seema lets go of distrust. Lovely. But from a realistic point of view, this is such an awkward and odd situation for me. It feels like one of those team building exercises they make you do in your office job to strengthen the team. Absolutely horrific. However, I did love when Charlotte asked Carrie if she remembers the 4 of them eating takeout out of cardboard boxes in this apartment, because yeah, we do remember. We remember them playing poker, spying on Carrie's horny neighbors, and getting stoned. I also love the scene between Miranda and Che. Well, Che really needed to apologize to Miranda for all those terrible words they said, but most importantly, I'm just happy for Miranda. She managed to make amends with her exes, she rediscovered herself, and yeah, like she ended this season on such a high note by doing a live BBC interview and having drinks with a very glamorous woman named Joyce. I'm very excited to see where season 3 will take Miranda. After the party, Carrie spends quality time with her kitty, Shu. And just like that, Carrie became a cat lady, and I love that for her. Unexpectedly, Aidan appears, throwing stones at Carrie's window, just like she did many years ago. And do you know what, guys? He finally made it to her apartment. Well done, Aidan. Kudos, my friend. And he made it so effortlessly, like without making any fuss about him finally setting foot in Carrie's apartment, that it left me wondering what was really the point of that plotline. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because Aidan has big news. Following his son's accident, Aidan has decided to make his kids his only priority. This implies he won't be returning to New York anytime soon, and get this, he doesn't even want Carrie to visit him in Virginia as it could be distracting. Instead, he asks her to wait until Wyatt, his son, is no longer a teenager, so basically Aidan wants Carrie to wait for him 5 years. First of all, this makes no effing sense, but we all know that already. I am stating the obvious. It's not 18th century. He's not going to war. Like, this plot line just doesn't work in 2023. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Secondly, I can't believe he made this decision without consulting Carrie. She was totally excluded in this situation. Aidan simply showed up, delivered the news, and left her with little choice but to accept it. And also, at some point, he says that he has been thinking about nothing but Carrie all those years when they weren't together. And I can't help but feel so bad for Kathy, like justice for Kathy. Then he keeps dragging Kathy for traveling abroad as she's a textile designer while claiming that he has always been there for the boys, and that's not true. We know that's not true. He's been traveling to Abu Dhabi as well. Nevertheless, true to form, I tuned in to the latest episode of the And Just Like That podcast, where Michael Patrick King revealed that this whatever this is, was the writer's attempt to flip the dynamics. In the past, it was Carrie who wounded Aidan by cheating on him with Mr. Big. Therefore, this time around, they intended for Aidan to really hurt Carrie, but is Carrie really that hurt? This season concludes with her and Seema sipping cosmopolitans on a stunning beach in Greece, and she looks like she's having the time of her life. So yeah, that was season 2 finale. I'd give this episode 6 pigeon purses, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's mostly because of Samantha's appearance. I must confess, my expectations for season 2 events Just Like That were pretty low actually. I really only wanted more lighthearted plot lines, Charlotte to return to work, and Miranda to get a makeover. However, this season truly surpassed my expectations. I didn't anticipate becoming so invested in the lives of the new characters. Obviously, it wasn't always a seamless journey, and I'm currently in a process of writing an in-depth analysis of season 2, where I'll be exploring all things that worked and things that didn't. So I hope you stick around and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank everyone who has been following along this journey. I am so grateful so many of you tuned in every week to listen to my opinions. Thank you so much. With that said, the upcoming video will be the analysis of season 2. Following that, you can anticipate a rewatch of the SATC episode My Mother Bored Myself, as I've received countless requests for it. But now I'm curious about your thoughts on the And Just Like That season 2 finale. What are your season 3 predictions? Let me know in the comments. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys!